Hi, I'm Farinaz. I'm going to coach you through a beginner MuayFit session where I break all the exercises down and slow them down slightly so we can do it together. We're going to start with the warm-up. First, I'm going to start with 5 aside of alternating step back lunges. You want to step back into a lunge, making sure that you're pressing the leading leg's heel down. You don't have to touch your back knee down. Go to the range that's comfortable for you. And breathe. Keeping that upper body upright and belly button in. That's 3, 4, and 5. And then from that, we're going to go to a low plank position. For the low plank, you are on your elbows and your feet are together, so there's a pivot point for you to twist. And you're just twisting side to side. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then our last exercise, you're lying on your back. Both legs are up. Keep the knees bent. And then tap one heel down at a time. You want to press your lower back down on the mat at all times. Three. Exhaling, 4, and that's 5. Perfect. That's one set. We're doing one more set together. Starting with the lunges. We're doing 5 per side. You can always start with less range of motion, and then once you trust the exercise, try to go a little bit lower. Test your body. See how low you can go. That's 4. And that's 5. And then from that, we're going back to that low plank position, having our elbow down, feet together for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then lying on your backs. Hands are down, head and shoulders down, legs are up, bend the knees, press your lower back down, tap heels down, one at a time. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. And that was our warm-up. Our next set of exercises are 3 exercises to get our heart rates up. We are starting from the push-up. What I call this one is a military push-up. We do this in kickboxing all the time. I always ask everybody to start all the way down, having our elbows alongside your body. Now, we want to push our arms for our upper body to come up, only to the knees, and then back down. At the beginning, it's always a little bit curvy. Looks like this. And that's okay. It's only because our core is not yet in tune with the rest of the body. And that's totally fine. As long as you are trying to squeeze the core as you come up, it's perfect. Don't worry if it's not straight. If it's like this, it's still okay. After the 5th rep, we're coming up on the hands, bringing the knees in. 7 per side. We're mountain climbers. Breathing in, 4, 5, 6, and that's 7. And then from that, we're moving on to squats. Just regular squat, pressing the heels down on the outer edges of the feet, and then coming up to standing. Exhaling, squeeze the glutes when you come up top. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, last 2. One last one, and that's 10. Perfect. We want to do one more set. Now remember, we're going back down to the push-ups. Don't worry if it's not fully straight. Have your knees down, take your whole body down. Don't worry if it's straight, and come up. Exhale as you're pushing yourself up. think that you're lying on your stomach and you're trying to just sit upright. Let's do one more. That's 5. And then from this, we're going to high plank position, bringing our knees in. It doesn't have to be fast. It's actually better if it's slow. That's 2. Just make sure you're breathing rhythmically. 4, 5, 6, and that's 7. Perfect. And then our last exercise was squats. Feet as wide as the shoulders, maybe a toe size wider, down to 90 degrees, coming up to squeeze your glutes. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's 10. For this series, we just need one dumbbell. Now, if you don't have a dumbbell or if you don't want to work with a dumbbell today, don't worry about it at all. You can still work the proper muscles without using any dumbbells. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the first exercise, what we call clean and press. Let's say the weight is on the right side. I start from close to the ground. The knees are slightly bent like a deadlift position. Back is straight, bringing the weight up to the shoulder, using the power of the legs to press overhead. Going back down the same way. Exhaling every time we go over the head. This is number 3. We need 2 more. One last one. And that's 5. Then, if possible, we're holding the weight on the shoulder, stepping back with the opposite leg for a lunge. Now, if this is too much, you can still keep the weight down, or you can just do this without the weight. This is number 4. One more. And that's 5. And our last exercise is hammer curls. For hammer curl, you're keeping your elbow as close to your body as possible, and you're just curling up. Your hand is neutral to the shoulder. 3, 4, and that's 5. Now we want to do the exact same exercises on the other side, starting with clean and press. Exhale every time you go over your head. 2, 3, 4, one last one, and that's 5. And then I'm keeping the weight on my shoulder. Of course, you can have it down or do it without a weight for lunges for 5, 4, 3, one last one. Perfect. And our last one was hammer curl. Elbow is tucked in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I always like to finish all these sets with a core exercise. You're holding on to the weights from the sides, keeping your elbows in, curling, extending the weight in front of you, and then straight down, making sure you're holding your belly button in and squeezing your core. Exhale when you extend, and then inhale as you curl. This is number 4. One last one, and that's 5. Perfect. That was one set. Now we want to do a whole other set together, starting from that clean and press. Take a deep breath in, and 5. Exhaling when we go overhead. 4, 3, 2, one last one, and 1. And then I'm keeping it on the shoulder, stepping back with the opposite leg for a lunge for 5. Don't worry if your knee is not touching the ground. It doesn't have to. As long as you're pressing the heel on the leading leg, it's perfect. 4. And that's 5. And then we move on to hammer curl for 5, 4, 3, one last one. Amazing. Now we're switching to the other side for the last time. Clean and press. Exhaling every time we go up, using the power of the legs in order to press overhead. 3, 4, and that's 5. Now I'm keeping the weight on the shoulders. Of course, you can keep them down, stepping back with the opposite leg for a lunge, pressing the leading leg's heel down, breathing rhythmically. 3, 4, one last one. Perfect. 5. And then moving on to that hammer curl for 5, 4, 3, 2, one last one. Perfect. And then moving on to the last one, which is my favorite. Hold on to your weight from the side. Curl, hold your belly button in, extend, straight down. Exhale as you come down, but keep that core tight the entire time. Let's do one more after this one. And that's 5. Great job, everybody. I hope you found this a great way to start MuayFit. Hope to see you next time.